Welcome everyone back to another Game Dev Daily, number 24. It is February the 6th, 2025, and we're going to get underway. As promised from last daily, I'm not going to ramble for like 5 minutes, so we're just going to pull up Unity. Okay, what did we do last time? Last time we made it so that the spooter, we updated like the logic for getting it to notice us. So we're no longer using a boxcast anymore. We're instead just using our player's position in relation to the spider. It's a little nicer. And then after the spooter spots us, he's gonna like enter a mode where he just starts firing projectiles at us, and we gotta dodge him. And yeah, that's about that. They'll just shoot and potentially deal damage, and that is it. We can leave range, and he'll stagger on us for I think 3 seconds, and then he'll resume, going back to the neutral state. Okay, so that's cool. We got the spider. We want to start working on the third and final enemy for this kind of like starting area that I'm thinking of building. So this is going to be something that like sticks against trees, more or less, against the walls. It's going to be like a little guy that sticks against the wall. So for example, I can probably grab this, I can drag it up here, and I can probably just stretch it. So if for instance we have this wall here, let's say, and let's, I'm gonna have this wall not have a collider on it, it's just gonna be a sprite. In which case I don't need to give it a hitbox, it's just gonna be vibing there. So this should like mimic like a tree trunk for us, right? So let's double check that we can still just pass through it, because we should be able to. Yep. We need to put it behind the player. It's going to live in the background, so that's the next thing we'll do. We're going to give it a sprite renderer. We're going to give its layer to go behind. Let me just double check. Behind is negative, I think. Yeah, it is. So this is going to be like background scenery stuff. So I'll give it a -10 for now. Okay. And so we'll see that we can pass in front of this. Cool. But this is an actual tangible wall here. All right. So we got that going. Oh, I forgot that I can push the spooter. Okay, I gotta make this thing invulnerable to pushing, I guess. That's kind of important. Because now he's gonna kind of vibe separately from the web. Oh, is he not even gonna move? Oh, he's bugged out because he's like above it. I can push him back down. Oh yeah, if I try this, he should resume moving again now. Yeah. Okay, so we shouldn't be able to jet the spider. I guess ideally it would like swing, but that is probably not something I'm gonna be able to do. That sounds like a lot of work. Like that's actually difficult physics if I want to make it be able to swing. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna do that. Man, I guess I would want to do that at some point. Anyway, that's something for like way down the line. I don't need to worry about it right now. Okay, so in the meantime, we have this wall. This wall extends upwards, and we're gonna sit an enemy on it. Is effectively what we want to do next. So I'm gonna get rid of the splitter enemy now, actually, and we're gonna just start working on the new guy. So I'm going to just quickly adjust my scenery a little bit. We're going to slide this over to the right ever so slightly. I just want to make this line up. Something like that. Maybe one more. No, just 0. Oh, it's flush. There you go. And I'm gonna move this one over as well, so that it's sitting on top. So let's go with 6, 5, 6. Is that right? It's like almost right. Good enough. Yeah, it's like ever so slightly off, but easily good enough for our purposes. Okay, so this is going to be a thing that we can phase through. I'm going to stretch it a little more just so I can extend it up higher. But treat this kind of like a background object, I guess, more or less. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make the enemy that sits on it. That's our next job. Okay, so the enemy is going to be how big? I made the ball 1 by 1. I think I need to, I probably need to, like, redesign a bunch of these sprites so that they're actually scaled properly. Because I think I'm going to make this next enemy in 1 by 1 instead of scaling it down. By 1 by 1, I shouldn't actually be saying that. We're going to make it in, I think it was 92 by 92 pixels, I believe. 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter is how many pixels? 38. Yeah, so I want to do 1 inch by 1 inch, which is 96 pixels by 96 pixels. I mean, I could use even more standard pixel sizes. I mean, I probably should just be working in pixels a lot more. Maybe I want to have a little more definition than that. Maybe let's go like 128 by 128 for this enemy. Okay. This might even be too small. There might not be enough definition here. Let me just mess around with this real quick. It's like probably okay. Okay, so for the purposes of this, right, I'm gonna draw myself a wall in the background. Now, this is not gonna go in the sprite permanently, but this is what we're gonna use for the time being. So I'll draw an 8 pixel wall on the right. I might make it a bit wider, actually. 16. Well, actually, I kind of want it to be pretty big. Let me go. How big do we want it to be? That big? It's probably good, honestly. Let me just erase some of this. It's a bit easier for me to see. Okay. Is that enough? Probably still not enough. So this is going to mimic the tree that the enemy is going to be attached to, basically. I think this is good. Okay, so now we're going to work on the layer above it. We're going to reduce our pixel size down. Let's do our outline in... Yeah, 8 pixel outline's probably good. And, like, that's another thing. I should be doing, like, consistent outlines. So, I mean, yeah, it all comes down to just, like, consistently sizing your sprites and whatnot rather than scaling them in Unity. And I think I'm just going to more or less freehand it. Now, the question is, what color do I want this enemy to be? Do I want it to be piss green? I think my initial concept was to have it be orange. I'm going to make it a little bit of a darker orange. Like, more orangey. Something like this, maybe. Okay. So this enemy is going to be kind of just like a semicircle on the tree. I'm going to mess around with some shapes until I get one that I like. It's kind of just like a blob. Oh, I don't mind that at all, actually. Okay, let's run with this and see how we can get this to look. So let me just fill that in, and I'm gonna add this. So the thing with these guys is they're gonna kind of they're gonna stick on the tree a little bit. Alright, so for now we'll just bucket fill this. And I kind of want to see if I can define the back end of this. Actually, let me bucket fill it with something else for now. Just as placeholder. Ooh. Let's go like a darker version of this orange. That is just a yuck brown. And I guess that's really not an orange then, am I? I mean, that's pretty orange. How do I get to like a darker orange that isn't brown? It's kind of hard, huh? I mean, I guess at the end of the day, brown is just dark orange. Like, let's be honest. My color palette up here is very messy, but that's okay. Okay, so I kind of want to build out, it's going to have like little suckers that stick onto the tree a bit. So I want a similar thing up here. Little sucky things. And then I'm gonna put a small one in the middle. So something like this, I reckon, and I'll tidy it up a little bit. But I kind of like this design more or less. Something like that. Okay, and then we're going to, why does that go through? Oh, no, it doesn't. I see now. I have to use the eraser tool because paint sucks. Okay. So I'm just going to erase all of this. I'm going to see if we can define this outline. Even like that is not bad. Let's do like a rough pass first. And then I'll try and tidy it up pixel by pixel. Pixel art is so goddamn hard. Okay, let me reduce this eraser size now. 4 pixels. I mean, erase that. This bit here looks like pretty ugly. Oh, I thought I just have to click back on the pencil. Okay, let me Oh, I'm literally, this is the max zoom I can go. I actually just can't go any more zoomed than this. That's a little unfortunate. I feel like for pixel art, you want to be able to zoom pretty far in. Like, this looks so ugly. Yeah, this curve I've like not done a good job on, like, at all. But it's so hard, man. Because someone that doesn't do pixel art. Getting this to look good is like very, I don't know. Seems like kind of impossible to me. Like, I could leave it at that, honestly. It's not the worst. I kind of think this is a little thin here. Like, I want to thicken this out a little bit. And then maybe pull out a couple over here. Oh, that's too much. It's just so hard to get it to look nice. You know. How do they do it, huh? Black magic. That's what I reckon. Alright, I mean, I reckon I probably should just stop or I'll be here all day. In typical I attempt pixel art fashion. I just call it. Alright. Now that I'm like drawing it, I'm like, dude, this is just like a little slime guy. He's kind of this little slime dude. And he's stuck to the, he's stuck to the tree. I think I kind of want to make the edges here, like where it connects with the tree. I think I want to do that a little bit, so it kind of looks a bit more like it's attached. I might build it up even a bit more than this, to be honest. Something like that, just so it looks a little bit more like it's actually stuck to the tree. I don't mind that. And then it kind of gives me a reference point when I remove the background of where it should line up with the tree as well. Okay, I don't mind this at all. Now I'm gonna give it's a little slime dude. We're gonna give it a mouth. So I'm gonna erase kind of like the center here. Something like this. We'll come back to it. And then I think it's not going to have eyes now that I'm looking at it. I kind of like the style we got going on here. Raise this back up to 8 pixels. And I'm going to go... It's going to be... Bloop. Do I like this or not? Something like that. And then we just fill in the middle. And it just pew pew pew. Just fires out the side, right? I mean, that doesn't look too bad. Ugh, excuse me. Yeah, I think we run it like this. You know what I can do, actually, and what I will do? I'm going to move... I'm going to move this thing to the right. Because now that I know... Now that I've got it attached to the tree, the not real tree, I can actually pull this sprite to the right now. Which I'm probably going to do a shit job of, but we'll try. Yeah, and then I have more room if I want to make the mouth like bigger or something. And then what I can do here is I can take this and I can color in black. Here, let's say. Like that. Maybe like 1 pixel over. There we go. Something like that. Okay, and now we got a little bit more room to play. Now, whether or not I actually want to make it bigger or not is a completely separate question. I think ideally what it would do is its mouth would like rotate on the sprite, but again, that's just a bit beyond what I'm really capable and willing to do at the moment. Yeah, something like this, maybe. Feel that? Ooh. Oh, I just drew on the, I just drew on the background. Okay, get on me. Let's try that again. But actually drew on the right spot. So I kind of did like, I know the shape that I'm going for now. Made it. Why does it do that? It's kind of annoying. Kind of want to go a bit higher, though. Something like this, and then I can pull it out and in. It's too far down. I kind of want to come in a bit more is the thing. Like here. Man, I just need to get this curve a little better than this. No, maybe I should try from the inside. Yeah, it looks okay. And then here, I go from like, ugh. Maybe try this one from the outside. Nah, what I'm wanting here is it should go like way wider. Like that. I can adjust that a little bit, that's fine. This one's too tight. It's so hard to get it looking nice. Maybe like that. That might be okay. Kind of just like doesn't look like a mouth though, does it? What if I tidy it up with the pen tool and I make it like this? Still doesn't look great, huh? Yeah, no, it's too long now. Dude, art's hard, man. I think it does just have to be something like small like this. I think I gotta keep it like flatter. To give it more the appearance that I want. Like, maybe even something like this is fine. Definitely looks better, I think. Maybe I just go with this. Let me just pen tool it a little bit. This bottom bit especially needs just a little bit of tweaking. Could probably shape back the top a little bit. I love this track so much. It is one of my favorites. No, that looks horrific, actually. I hate everything I did there. Secret tunnel. Okay, are we happy yet? I think we're almost happy. That. Alright. I think I just need to say pens down. Oh, I kind of want to make this a little wider though. Oh, no, I gotta make it slightly wider. The other side is too wide now in comparison. Why is this side so much wider than this side? No, Snowy, you just have to stop. You just have to stop. It's pixels. It's pixels. Okay, you're right. I'm playing to just myself here. I need to stop. Okay, now what we need to do is delete the background layer. And boom, and this is our sprite. Lovely. Okay, file. The next thing I have to do actually is copy it into a different editing software where I can actually make it transparent. My favorite. So that we'll have that boot up. Dude, it's so dumb. It actually takes me half an hour to make one art asset that looks that looks pretty shit. Like, how would I even make this like thing aim? You kind of like want the mouth to like rotate around it. I mean, I guess I could do that. But then it needs to be like way more precise. New. What was this? This was what, 128 by 128? Why are you not making it with transparency, please? Okay, lovely. Pasted it in. It looks good. File. We're gonna export this. Export as. What am I gonna call it? I want to call it a blooper, but that's it's an enemy in a different game. I could still call it a blooper. Slooper. A slooper. I call it a slooper. Sure. It is now a slooper. Let me find my images here. I'm going to call it Slooper. To go alongside the Spooter. We have Spooter and Slooper. Export. Alright, in our project now, we're gonna go into sprites, entities, and we're gonna add it in here. Imports, new asset, the Slooper. And this is what it looks like. Bam! And it's even scaled pretty damn well. I'm pretty happy with that, actually. So I won't have to do any scaling for it at all, which is sick. And all we have to do is just line it up against this thing, and boom. I do not mind that in the slightest. Here's our big bad enemy guy. I say big bad, it's literally just a thing that sits on the wall and shoots us. And now, we're gonna make it just shoot projectiles. They're gonna come directly out of the mouth. Although I could make them. I could make it. And then just adjust the force based on distance. Huh, I mean, it's not a bad idea. I might actually be on to something.
Hello, Shiro Shinobi speaking. Welcome to Republic City, the largest, most modern city
What is this?
in the Republic of Nations. This thriving city is a safe haven for immigrants.
Hey, ain't no talking. There are so many Zelda playlists. I mean, Zelda, collections in this playlist. You know what? I'm down for some Sonic tunes. Okay, so here's our Slooper. What I want to do is we have it as a game object now, so we're gonna, I guess the first thing we'll do is actually just give it a hitbox. Now, I actually don't really know how much of a hitbox I want to give this thing. What kind of collider, I mean. I mean, I guess I'm just gonna make it go to the, I'm just gonna wrap it. I said this last time, but I weirdly really enjoy doing this kind of collider stuff. Like, I don't know, it's just very relaxing for me to do this. Okay, let's get going, shall we? I guess when you're zoomed out, it looks fine. It's a little fuzzy when you're zoomed in, but yeah, when I'm zoomed out, it's kind of whatever. It is very easy to see the very easy to see the edges of the pixels. Now that I've made a bit of a smaller sprite. It's not gonna look that much like pixel art though, like just because of the scale that I'm doing this at. You kind of won't really be able to tell. I think I might go back over the start of it because I kind of changed how I was doing the hitboxing here. Although I'll see, maybe I won't bother. Probably doesn't really matter that much. Like, it's not a big deal if the hitboxing is not perfect. It's really kind of whatever, honestly. If anything, I'm probably going a little far out now. Which is, like, fine. But yeah, like, you can see I might be getting a little too lenient on the hitboxing, yeah. Like, this is probably better, actually, for what I should be doing. But, like, you're just not going to be able to tell. Yeah, I think I need I can probably lose some precision on the hitboxing lines here. To be perfectly honest. Like, even this is probably just fine as is. Like, I really don't have to adjust that. Like, yeah, it's not perfect, but I probably just shouldn't care. Oh my god. It's actually so annoying. Please let me grab the final node. Thank you. Okay. And yeah, I think I'm just happy with that. Good enough for a hitbox. Okay, so we obviously can't collide with this tree, but this thing is going to be an enemy that exists that you can collide with. Okay, so we have this thing. It's not gonna have any gravity, obviously. In fact, it's just not gonna move at all. All it's really gonna do is notice the player and fire projectiles at us. That's about it. We can have them on varying levels on the tree. Like, they could be down here, or they could be up here. Really, anywhere along this is a perfectly fine place to put it. Now the question is, how do I want to determine how much force it's gonna fight the projectile with? Because, like, we have to do some math here, right? If we want to be, like, semi-accurate. Depends on how high it is. Hey, what's up, Jen? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Let's start actually doing some programming. Yep, what's your question? Go ahead. Shoot. Ask away. I am not particularly looking to participate in any game jams at the moment, though. Thank you for the offer, though. Just pull open the script. We're gonna make a new one. Alright, where are we? Not projectiles. I'm looking at enemies. And we're going to make a new script for the Slooper. New item. New class is probably what I want. Add new class, and it will be a Slooper. We got the Spooter, and now we have the Slooper. This thing has to inherit from mono. Actually, no, it's just going to inherit from entity. What am I talking about? Inherits from entity. Do I have to do anything else crazy with this? Oh, I don't need a namespace it apparently. You just don't have to do that. Public class. Sure. Okay, and it's gonna have a fixed update and a bunch of stuff like that. Okay, so we're gonna give it a protected override void start. It'd be nice if I could spell protected. And also one for fixed update. Protected override void fixed update. Oh, it's just void. Override. Okay, lovely. Now, all we're gonna do in the Slooper is calculate how close the player is to us, first of all. Now for that, we can pretty much just copy the Spooter script almost exactly, honestly. We probably do want to know the xdiff and the ydiff. So let's get the player. And let's get the... Maybe the player should just be at the base level entity. I could probably even add that, honestly. I'm gonna have... I need to add the player in the start. And then we're going to get our xdiff and ydiff. Okay. So this is how far away the player is from us. From an X and Y perspective. Now for this, we do care about... Do we care about the direction? I guess not really. No, we kind of care, we kind of care. Okay, now, all I want to do is if I become alert, I then want to fire at the player. And the amount of force that I apply to the bullet depends on how far away the player is from me. Basically, the player's position. So I need, like, kind of some sort of calculation to do that. Which we shall see. And I was initially imagining this as being like an arcing shot. I might still make it an arcing shot, honestly. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to arc it. Although it's gonna look a little wonky. But I think it'll be better to give it some arc. It's just that initial direction of speed that we need to determine. I think we're gonna make it so that the bullet doesn't really slow. I guess we'll give it some slowdown. I don't even need to though. Just have it not slow down. Like in terms of X speed. Y speed, we want it to be affected by gravity, this bullet. And I think we'll just use the Spooter bullet for the moment, the Spooter ball. Actually, no, I have to use a different... Well, I can use the same... I can use the same sprite. So that should be fine, but I'll give it a different script. Which means I'm actually gonna have to make a different game object for it. Okay. Slooper. So it sits on trees. X diff, Y diff. I kind of want the center of this sprite to be where it fires from. Is that the easiest way to do it? Can you set the anchor point manually? Probably worth taking a look at, actually. Let's take a look, shall we? So let's look at our sprite renderer, and we want to open the sprite editor, and I want to see if I can set the pivot point. Custom. Is it just this? I think it's just this. So the pivot point to be like here. Maybe even here, honestly. Yeah, like there. Okay, and then I'm gonna apply that, and I'm gonna go back to the scene. Oh, shit. That's so annoying. I hate how you can't just slide edge colliders across. Or just colliders in general. Oh wait, no, you can, I lied. Okay, I'm absolutely doing that. I'll just give it an offset, that's fine. Good enough for me. Yo, what's up, Sluffy? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Alright, we fixed our collider up. We've given it an anchor point here because this is where we want to spawn the projectile from the enemy. I want it to spit out from there. What I should have done was... whatever. I should have given this more orange, but that's fine. Okay. We're gonna kind of copy similar stuff, right? I'm gonna make use of a lot of stuff that the Spoot is already using. So I'm gonna give it a... It's gonna have a projectile. And I think I'm gonna give it a state as well. I mean, I probably should just make the state apply to the entity object. But stuff it. I'll just put it in here for now. Okay. And we are going to copy a lot of this logic. The big difference is that if we're not aggroed, we kind of don't do anything. So we really only do stuff if we're in an alert state. Okay. And if we're not in an alert state, then we will just check to see if the player is near us. And that's about it. Okay, so... Now, okay, how do I figure out my aggro range for this? Do I just have to define... I guess I just have to define it per... Like, how much of a Y... How far up and above? I mean, I can just, like, manually define it. I kind of want an upper bound and a lower bound, though, is the thing. The X is going to be a flat value, which is just going to be left of the enemy. It's probably going to be... Well, it should be able to fire, like, directly downwards, too, though. Pew! Like, if I have it shoot. I think it just has to be to the left. That's all. In whichever direction it's facing. So do I need to define its facing direction as well? I mean, I can just have two versions of the enemy. One of the enemy versions is facing left and one of them is facing right. Yeah, I think that makes sense. In which case, I probably need to define some values for this. Upper Y. Let's like use private float, upper Y bounds. And then we want lower Y bound, and then I want private float, which is X bound. And so this value will either be positive or negative, depending on which side the sprite is facing. Okay, but for now we'll just declare them all in the start function. That's fine. So we're gonna make upper Y bound equal to like the Y bound doesn't really matter that much. I'll make it like 2 above. And the lower Y bound, I'm going to set to 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is good. The more interesting thing is the X bound. The X bound is going to be equal to negative, let's say, we're like here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I want to be able to shoot like further than the Spooter, that's for sure. I think 12 is fine. Yeah, I think 12 would be good. So negative 12. Why do I have a million? Oh, I have all errors in here because I just copy paste a bunch of shit in, that's why. That'll do it. Just, you know, copy paste, dump a bunch of crap in and hope that it works. Okay, so if xdiff is so the transform position minus the player's transform position, am I going to get a positive or a negative number? So so this is the Slooper and this is the player. This is higher than this, so I'm going to get a positive value. And that's going to be my difference. And they're on the other side, it'll be the other way around. So I actually want this to be inverted. I want it to be like this. And then the X bound makes sense. And also the lower Y bound should be negative 4. Okay, so like that is what I want. So this means if the player's on the left, this will return it. This will be a negative number, and if the player's on the right, it'll be a positive number. Which should be what we want. Okay, so if xdiff is... Oh, but then it kind of matters here then, right? So how do I know if the bound's positive or negative? Oh, math's such a pain in the ass. How do I get this to work how I want it to? Okay, well it needs to be able to apply in both scenarios, right? So if we're in this scenario, then I'm expecting that xdiff will be a negative number. So I want to make sure that it's greater than the number. I want to check if my X bound... I want to check if the xdiff is greater than the X bound. But if X bound is a positive number, it's facing the other way, then it's going to be a... This is a negative number. If it's facing this way, it'll be a positive number. I need to do the inverse check, right? It might just be easier to check... to have a boolean that just says if it's facing left or right, and then we can multiply it by -1 if needed. Based on that boolean? Is that better? Okay, the Y bounds are actually like really piss, and this shouldn't be a negative number, it should be positive. It is just the X bound that is annoying. I can just give it 2 X bounds. Yeah, maybe we just do that then. Let's just do that as well. I'll give it a lower expound and an upper expound, and then it's literally just defining a box that the player can be inside, and if the player's inside the box, then be aggro. That's probably the better way to do it, and then I don't have to worry about facing orientation or anything. So let me have a lower expound and upper expound. Okay, so in this case, upper expound is going to be equal to 0, and lower expound is going to be equal to -12. Oh, just 12. Yep. So this is like left. Lower expound is how far left it can be, and upper expound is how far right it can be. This is gonna give me negative if the player's on the left, which is what I want. Now, if xdiff is greater than, no, is less than, so what I want to check is that if xdiff is greater than or equal to lower expound, and it's also less than or equal to upper bound, but we also want to do additional checks for the y bounds as well, which is going to be literally the exact same thing because they replace x with y. So it's going to be y diff, lower y bound, and y diff, upper y bound. Okay, literally the exact same thing. And so if this statement is true, then the player's within our aggro state, our aggro range, right? So when I enter the alert state, I want to stop all coroutines. It's not going to have any, so it will just enter the alert state. That's all it's going to do. I suppose I'm going to give myself a de-aggro counter again. That's fine, we can run that. And I'll give it another 3-second de-aggro, that's fine too. Okay, so then if we're in the alert state, I want to start shooting at the player. And I want to shoot like pretty fast. I guess I'm gonna copy this delay thing across again. And we'll also need this waiting boolean. Private bool waiting. Okay, and I mean, this should already work pretty much. The last thing we need to do is actually make a bullet. So I have the projectile game object, but now I have to make a new one in Unity. So we're gonna go into where the spooter ball is, and we're gonna have another one, but I'm gonna name it, actually, I shouldn't have copied the script, I should actually copy the projectile first. So I'm just gonna Control-C, Control-V this, and I'm gonna call it Slooper. Slooper attack. But it's like the same thing, pretty much. The only difference is it's gonna have a different script on it. It's gonna have the Slooper ball script. So remove this, and instead I want to add Slooper ball, which I can't find. Where are we? Scripts, projectiles, enemies, this one. Because I need to rename it. Very distinct enemies. I'll leave all this crap for now. We'll update it in a moment. For now, let's just get it working. I need to add the scripts. Why can't I find it in here? Guess it just like hasn't loaded. Why is it still... Wait, it just hasn't updated? Huh? It's because I, like, created it in here. Pain in the ass. Okay, I'll just do it here then, whatever. Why is your name not updating? Hello? Slooper ball. Alright, are we updated? Dude, it cannot find it. Hello, Unity? Attached to Unity. Is that what this does? No. Is it because I still have errors? Is that why? Maybe that's all it is. Hold on. Let me get rid of the current errors and see if that resolves this issue. It might just be that it's not updating it because there is compiler errors. Okay, that's all it was. Alright, fair enough. So now, projectiles, enemy. I actually did not want to copy this at all. It's the prefab that I want to copy. Slooper attack. Oh wait, no, I was. Oh, God, I'm so bad at this. All right, it's fine. I'll get there eventually. I did copy the prefab. I'm just dumb. I mean, of course I did, because I removed the script component. So obviously. Slooper ball. Okay, we have it on. We've done it. We've done it. Alright. What remains? I'll leave all of this here. So now, I need to get the Slooper ball. Projectile is equal to game object. Yeah, I'll just go copy it from Spooter or whatever. It's the same thing, it's just Slooper attack instead. Okay, we have the projectile, so it's gonna load in here now, which is good. We're not gonna use Spooter, we're just gonna use our own transform position, obviously. Okay, and then what we actually need to adjust is the direction. Now, I think I just want to pass in the xdiff or ydiff. Probably. I mean, that is gonna be the direction, though. The thing is, I don't want to normalize it, I think. Also, I'm realizing that I totally can just make this a vector 2 instead. Like, exactly what I'm doing here. And I think I'm going to do that. Var position diff is equal to this. And then I can just use position diff.x. And it looks way cleaner. Because then I can reuse it up here as well. Because I can just use position diff. And I think I don't want to normalize it. So in the Slooper ball, we're going to pass in a... I'm going to make this delete one, actually. Slooper ball, I'm going to pass in this. And then I kind of don't need this speed value now. It's not necessary. Because I'm going to base my speed off the direction. So I know exactly where the player is. Now the question is, how do we do math? So the further away the player is, the more I want it to go. The more I want it to go. The further away the player is, the faster I want it to travel, is what I was trying to say. But, I'm dumb. So I kind of wanted to just scale up based on the distance. Of how much X speed it should have. I need to make sure that it can, like, make it to the player. I think I'm gonna have to actually, like, do math here that I'm, like, not prepared to do right now. It's, like, genuine math. Which is such a pain in the ass. Okay. And, like, how much Y speed do I want to give it? I'm, like, totally guessing. Maybe this is a next stream moment. I could just spend all of next stream trying to do maths for this enemy. How do you even, like, approach this in a good way? So I could probably, like, guess a good X speed to give it based on the distance. Like, that bit doesn't actually sound that difficult. I basically want to make a quadratic. I want it to follow a quadratic arc. And then it just depends on how high I want it to fire. Now, how high I want the fire is going to be based on how close it is to us. Because if I'm like right next to the enemy, then I don't want it to shoot up at all. It should basically be 0. Man. I mean, so the X speed and the Y speed is going to scale up from... They're both going to scale up from 0. And when I say X speed and Y speed, I mean the initial velocity that I fire at. Because after the initial fire, it's going to... I think the X velocity is not going to change, and the Y velocity is just going to be impacted by gravity, and that's it. It's going to have a gravity force on it that impacts it. And that's all I really need to care about. So it's all about the initial speed. It's what initial speed do I need to fire it at to get it to be reasonably on target. And we can add in, like, variance and RNG later. But I need to figure out... I'll, like, draw this up in, like, a proper diagram next stream, I think. And we'll actually think about how the hell we're going to do this. But the gradient is going to be... Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a quadratic, right? Dude, take me back like 6-7 years. More than that, actually. Take me back like a decade. And I'd have this on lock. Right now, I'm too dumb. Alright, I'm gonna have to do some math homework before next session. But anyway, I think I'm going to, I'm gonna call it here. We kind of just spent like forever making this sprite. And next stream we'll get it to actually shoot a projectile at us, I think is the next plan. So yeah, we will get around to this. I'm gonna just comment this out so it compiles. Okay, well. Thanks everyone who stopped by for tuning in to another daily. Hope you all enjoyed the stream. Won't be on tomorrow, but should be on the couple nights following that. So hope you all have a great day, and I will catch you all around. Have a good one.